Let's do it.
This is Ridiculously Professional, the unconventional business show. I am Branson Murphey. I've got Zach Eischen with me. How you doing, Zach?
What is up,
As you can
everybody? How we
see,
doing?
we upgraded a little bit. Let's get into it. So we're gonna give a rundown of how the show is gonna go real quick. First, we're gonna talk about LinkedIn posts that we saw this week. See, if they're cringy, if they're motivational, what we got going. Next, we're gonna drop into a corporate drama drop. It's been a minute, so we're going to talk about the big thing that's happened this month, which is the Rippling and Deal drama.
Drum roll, please.
Can't wait for that
Drum
one.
roll, please. Lock on.
And then we're going to do a little debate, which is the rise of Agentic AI, talking about how AI and its place in sales and other business. So, all right, first we're gonna hop into segment 1, which is the LinkedIn deep dive. Gonna put 4 minutes on the clock, and there we go. So Zach, let me know, you saw some interesting LinkedIn posts this week.
Yeah. I saw some funny ones, as we always do. So I love bringing things always back to sales. I saw one recently saying, "You don't sell a product, you sell your aura." And I don't know if I can get behind that one, Branson. I'm all for the
Yeah.
relationship sell. I'm all for the vibe revenue, which is having a big moment right now. But I just, you like value needs to be the number one approach you take to selling. So I don't know how this LinkedIn poster was thinking.
You don't think the new Sandler process should be just go straight aura?
Sandler and Challenger are dead. We're in the aura era. Aura written by ChatGPT. How to sell.
Things are moving real quick.
Yeah. I don't know if I love it. I don't know if I love it, man. I don't know if I'm behind it.
I mean, yeah, all right. What was the next one that you saw? Was it like a hustle post?
Yeah. So I'm gonna on the note of sales again, some motivational fluff. It was I wake up at 4:30 a.m. to visualize my pipeline. When I read this one, everyone knows about the famous kind of like video going around right now of the guy who like wakes up at 3:30 and prepares for a fitness meeting. You know what I'm talking about? He like jumps in the pool, he does the ice water. When I read this post, I just imagined that guy being in sales. And then like there's a segment to that video of just like a chart visualizing how he's going to close all his deals for the day using Aura. Yes, that's a flashback to the other post. I feel like these two LinkedIners or whatever you call them need to get together and like just make a beast post to give the people what they want in terms of entertainment.
Honestly, like I can get the
nothing to
bowl
lose.
with
Let's
ice,
go.
and we can have the pipe drive is set up next to it. And
don't forget the banana peel. You gotta clean your face with the banana peel, man. That's part of the process.
I mean, it's
a
perfect.
big process guy.
The last one that you saw was something with a founder that was talking about like how he funded his company, or what was it?
So a founder who essentially sold their house to fund their MVP, and now they're sleeping in a WeWork. Okay. Let me say something about this one. I kind of dig this one, right? If I had to go, could get behind, can't get behind, and won't hear it on all of those LinkedIn posts. I'm going. I could get behind that one. This. If you really believe that you have a product and you can make it happen, why not sell the house and make it happen? You can probably buy 3 houses down the line if it works. So I respect the hustle on that one. The question is the WeWork still in business? Because this might just be a homeless moment. You know what I mean? This could be an abandoned building with the WeWork sign.
Remember that guy that I think he was at Google? He was a long time ago. He was just living at Google, eating all their food. Like, man, it's not a bad play.
It's crazy. It's like, you can almost compare it to the airport living, like the terminal. Shout out who we got, Tom Hanks in the terminal, right? Living in the airport. Hey, why not live in a WeWork? Visualize your pipeline, bro. Don't sell the product, sell your aura, right? All about
well, as you just heard, that was the bell on that one. We're gonna hop into part 2, which is the news breakdown. This is the corporate drama.
Ooh. Tell us.
Yeah.
Tell us the drama, Brent.
Yeah.
Tell us about
So for
Rippling and
people that
Deal.
don't know, Rippling and Deal are kind of HR platforms, and there's a little story of espionage going on where a Rippling employee claims that Deal CEO paid him $5,000 a month in crypto to spy on Rippling, and there he kind of shared internal strategy and everything, and this was found out through a honeypot Slack channel. And it gets even better is when they caught him, the dude runs to the bathroom where they tell him that he can't what do you call it, like he can't, you know, delete all the information, and he runs out of the bathroom, says I'll take my chances, and then says that he actually destroyed the phone with an axe. So,
This is not made
a
up. Like,
real
let's
story
preface with this
that's
happened.
happening in business.
This no, can I say something real quick? My
Yeah.
favorite part of the story is somewhere in between the bathroom moment and the fact that they paid him in
Yeah.
crypto. Like, I don't I just think that that lines up perfectly with the whole story. Like, it
Yeah.
really is that cherry on top to just a
I
beautiful
mean,
story.
the whole thing, I don't know how much of this we'll throw out, but this is everything that's been alleged in this. But yeah, if this writes like an actual like movie, like everything about this is stuff that you think that like, wouldn't it be wild if like somebody hired a guy and they actually allegedly did that? So it's pretty nuts.
And paid
That's
him in crypto.
that's
Add that to the
absolutely
plot
insane.
line. You know, you gotta love it. I mean, you know, big shout out to Rippling and Deal. Both very good company. Rippling, if you don't know, is an all-in-one for internal ops. Deal is a global hiring and payment system. This is no diss at Rippling or Deal. It's honestly commending them for providing some amazing tech culture
Yeah,
drama.
it's great because I
Love
mean,
it.
I don't know about you, but like sometimes when you're scrolling through, it's the same pieces, and then something like this pops up. You're like, "What? Wait, did that really just happen?"
Thank you, Rippling and Deal.
Uh,
Thank you, Rippling and Deal, for giving
Boom.
the people what they
All
want.
right. On that next one, you're going to talk about Zach is paid.
Yes, guys, I'm really excited about this one. So, Paid, we only have
Yeah.
a couple minutes on the clock for this one. So, quick summary: Paid is a platform designed to assist AI agent developers in monetizing their creations effectively. It's essentially payments and fintech for AI products created by anybody. It's a huge bridge to a gap, and that gap is that SaaS pricing models aren't necessarily working for agentic AI. So, big shout out to Paid. Big shout out to Manny Medina, who gave all of us salespeople Outreach, which is one of the biggest sales engagement platforms in the world. He's now investing in this Paid. It received its Series A round of funding, $10 million. And I think this platform is going to take off. Everyone should be keeping their eyes on Paid. I think it's going to be a great way for individuals to use the modern day tools and AI that currently exists and make money off of it. So, Branson, I think there's a lot of things that like something like a Paid will lead to, but curious kind of like what's your
Yeah.
take on that story?
Agentic AI, just AI in general in sales. I think that after seeing like all the systems that have been building lately, that it's not a if AI is gonna, it's not a hype thing. It's happening, and it's cool that you have companies that are getting ahead of this and they're seeing kind of where the future is going, and then kind of showing a new place for, I don't know, I guess people that are in sales to go different directions, because the way that sales teams are structured or have been previously structured are going to change massively. They're already changing massively. And I think that this is the right step for companies to see where the world's at and then keep helping with that.
100%. Yeah, well said. I think we'll obviously
Yeah.
dive into this in our main segment today with the great debate, but I think something like a Paid is lining the way and paving the way for a world in which there's just going to be a lot more companies, a lot more vertical niche based tech companies that are going to be using AI to operate. And so finding out a good way to pay and sell AI, pay for and sell AI, is going to be important. So I think it's really cool seeing paid launch and really paving the way for what's to come financially. It's exciting. So keep your eyes on paid.
Our next thing that we're going to talk about is something I saw the other day. I'm going to put 2 minutes on the clock. I've seen this with a couple different sections. And they are what is basically the SDR Olympics or SDR battles. I know I saw Morgan J. Ingram had one that was the Battle Royale the other day. He called it like it was ESPN for SDRs, BDRs. I think this is personally, I think this is a good idea because I think that it adds some extra new fun to. I mean, for a lot of people, making calls day in and day out is it gets boring after a while. I think it's cool to turn it into a little bit of a competition
Sure.
and have it where guys can be, kind of sharing, showing what's working, what's not, and also it can make it so that you raise your game up. But what do you think? What do you think about the whole BDR
I
Olympics?
remember that old game where it's like the red
Yeah,
boxer and the blue boxer in that little
Rock'em
like
Sock'em
yellow
Robots.
ring, and they're just like
Yeah,
rock'em sock'em robots. Thank you. That's kind of where my like monkey with the like symbol going brain goes
yeah.
to while I hear this. I think that this is hilarious, first off, and like just do I want to be a part of it? Absolutely not. Do I want to watch it? You bet you I want to watch it. So I
Yeah,
don't I'm really excited. I think it's interesting. I think it's to your point, it's fun. Like let's make cold
yeah.
calling fun again, right? It is definitely a grunt aspect of being a salesperson. But good for these people for like getting out of their comfort zone and going on a
Oh yeah,
platform like that to do something that's that's tough. So I respect it. I don't think I would do it. I'm just gonna say it,
yeah.
but I respect it.
I
I'll check it out. I'll watch it, no doubt.
That would be rough. That would be intense, basically, because it's like a regular call, but now everybody's watching you. It's got to be better than the last guy. Like, oh man.
I mean, but what a great way to
Oh
hone in
yeah,
the skills, right? What a great way to sharpen the skills and just get better at what you do when you're like when it
fantastic.
matters most. Um, so I think it's interesting. I think it's fun. Anything that makes sales and
Yep.
just work in general more fun and entertaining, I'm all for it.
Sweet. That was our like little lightning round section. Now we're gonna hop into what is called it's the great debate. We're gonna talk today about AI, agentic AI. We're gonna put 10 minutes on the clock for this one, and Zach and I are going to take two different positions on this for what we think about AI in sales and what we think about AI in companies. Zach, you want to take the pro or the con on this one?
Yeah, that's a hard because I see so many pros, I see so many cons, but for the sake of the great debate, I think this is going to be a fun conversation. I will
Okay,
take the con
cool.
side and
Okay,
you take the pro side. I would
yeah,
like to preface though. I would like to preface this with we're going to debate this to get the full understanding of how people should be looking at
yeah.
AI and how they should use it. And it's important to see both the positive and the negative side to it. With that being said, AI is here and I think you're going to fall behind if you don't learn how to use it really quickly.
When we originally came up with this concept, said like I see a lot of people that are kind of posturing or whatever on LinkedIn, and I think that we need to be having like real debates that are back and forth of like, here's the good parts about this, here's the bad parts about this. So my thing, if I'm going taking the pro side for AI, agentic AI, regular AI across or any automation for sales, is there's a lot of things that people don't want to do in sales that take a lot of time. So prospecting takes a ton of time. It takes a ton of time to with like the world that we have right now. You got to figure out your outreaches. If it's cold call, if it's DM messaging, if it's going out in the world and meeting people. Like there's a lot of different ways that prospecting happens, and I think that AI is going to simplify that and make it so that people can do the things that they want to do, like building real relationships. Because I think that one of the main things for any sort of outreach or anything like that is you're just trying to get people's attention. They're busy. It's something to like get in front of them, and I think that these systems will help you get in front of them, which just is kind of like I don't know, an icebreaker at a bar or something like that, where you just want to get in front of them, and then it gives you your chance to connect with the person overall. So I think that AI systems are amazing overall for businesses.
Sure, and I do too, but I think it's really important to look at like why you're using AI, and what mindset you go into it with. Um like any other tool, AI is just a tool, right? So let's think really simply. Let's look at a hammer, a saw, a drill, right? Let's say these are different AI platforms that each do different things. Maybe one automates content creation for email sequences. Maybe one automates trigger moments to reach out to people in the right times, for example, like when they switch jobs. And maybe one automates email deliverability stats and does things to keep your email deliverability good. These are all tools that currently exist. Now, when we look into AI is essentially the process of replacing a human actually doing these things. Now, Branson, you talked about something really interesting in a LinkedIn post that I saw that was about humans being in and out of the loop. So I think from a con perspective that anybody who's going to be using AI to streamline their work processes in the lens of sales, like we're talking about, you have to go into it with the look of you are actually in the loop. Like you are running this loop. You are just using better tools to build the house, if you will. Maybe before it was a manual screwdriver, now it's a drill. I think your hand and your finger is still on the drill operating it. So I think on the con side, if people are going in for AI to just make their jobs easier so they don't have to do grunt work, is the output of that work going to be like just kind of copy and paste, obviously AI, not very high, like not a good product, I should say. Is it going to be kind of like Disney cartoonish, CN Network, whatever? Or is it going to be like high quality outreach and content? Now, I think I think the key of the answer to that question depends on the person individually who goes into it, right? So if you're someone who's just trying to like be lazy and not work and just use AI to do your work for you and collect your paycheck, I think you're gonna experience some pretty harsh realities. But I think if you're someone who's savvy, looking to stick out and looking to use tools that can make you be what's that classic example? Like a blue circle in a
Okay.
sea of red X's. From that one book.
Yeah.
We'll caption the book when we look it up after this. But great concept. I think that it can help someone be a blue circle.
I'm gonna hop over real quick and then make my own con.
Yeah,
The the
we
other
can hop back and
con
forth.
that I think that I can see why people wouldn't want to do this is you're giving up a lot of control, and I think that companies need to realize that when they build systems up, they need to know how to use the systems. Because if you have somebody build a system for you, but you don't know how to fix it because you didn't build it, that's creating a brand new problem. You might not have the same problems as before with let's say a human SDR or something like that, but now you don't know how the system is working, how it's working, and you've given up too much control. Uh, I also think that if something goes wrong, because I've gotten AI, emails that basically at the bottom of the email it said, I know you wanted me to not write a signature in, but I don't think that that's professional. Here's a better tone that you should put. You're not able to check that, and that a lot of the times is a problem that you're automating these things and not able to check them. And so I think that that is a massive con or something that needs to be looked at with AI.
It's kind of like the factory line. If when you factory line something and one of those machines goes down, you have like a split
Yeah.
second to stop it until like a bunch of damage gets done. I think that we're kind of talking about the same thing here in terms of automation, is that Again,
Yeah.
human in the loop. They have they, whatever, whoever has to be overseeing the factory line. On the note of factory line, a pro to this is that you can train AI to pick up some mannerisms and words and whatnot that in lingo that you would use as an individual, right? So you can train your GPTs. I think we all know this, but you can actually train your GPTs to sound like you. A little mix of a pro and a con here is that I, what I really hope doesn't happen, and you know how like salespeople have kind of like that stigma or that trope behind them of just, a salesperson, right? Like the person
Yeah.
demoing the knives at the city county fair or something, right? Like
Really?
90
He's
people who
here?
aren't in sales, like that's, I
Sorry.
feel like we say sales.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I am a little worried that people using it incorrectly are going to continue to give that trope a bad name, because the actual job function of like an account executive in a tech company is to essentially be the quarterback of the entire given deal and account and all of their prospects. So you're working with product, you're working with support, you're working with onboarding, you're essentially gathering the troops and running a play to close this deal and to procure a contract. So what I'm worried about with AI is the people who aren't very good at what they do and give that classic cliche trope the name it has, is going to use AI to ineffectively to just worsen
Yeah.
that whole trope. I, you know
Yeah.
what I mean by that? Like, I feel like if everybody uses it poorly, it's just going to have a negative effect. So it's important that people understand what
I
they're
think
doing
what
with
you're
it.
saying is this, it amplifies everything. If you had poor processes to start
Correct.
with, it's not going to get better with AI. And also, if you can't manage people, you can't manage digital people, essentially. And I know that agentic AI a lot of times is more just an automation than anything, but you have to be able to manage your whole sales process the same way you would if there were. That's a buzzer right there.
Oh, that's our buzzer. Well, I feel like we can go maybe like a minute or
Run
two
it.
longer on this, because I just want to carry one thing like over that you said right there that
Yeah.
really resonated, was it
Oh, yeah.
amplifies everything. That is so true. And it will have, like, if you're savvy and you're good at what you do, you're going to be a freaking machine with AI products, right? And you'll be able to give better outputs than you ever could. But if you're lazy, if you're like always looking for shortcuts and then you go and venture out into the world of AI and automation, you are going to
Oh, yeah.
fail drastically. I'm just putting that out there. At the again, it goes back. It's how you use the tool. You know, it's how you use it. It's the person behind the tool, and if you can set it up effectively and use it effectively, it will only help you. But if you're just that lazy,
Yeah, it's not
looking
going to
for
work.
shortcuts, you're gonna have
Well,
a
and I think the
harsh
same thing for
awakening.
team. I
Correct.
liked what you
Correct.
said about the quarterbacking thing, because if this makes things more segmented over, or like split off, oh, well, that's our AI guy. He handles all these pieces. You do, then you're going to have segmentation within your teams. And I think that you're going to need some specialists that are in the company. So you're not going to get rid of all the people. You're going to have a specialist that's running the AI system, going out in the real world, figuring out all this information, and then bringing it back to update the AI system. And I think that that's going to be the back and forth of what's going on, versus just giving full automation. It might work for some companies, especially if they are like low value, or like, I mean, like, like some $5 a month or $10 a month product that might work really well, because it's just they're trying to. But higher target companies are going to have a hard time with processes like that.
100%. Now, Branson, since we've been talking a little conceptually with AI, maybe we can finish this segment with like we both share one like actual AI product or platform
Yeah.
that we're excited about and a use case for
Okay.
it.
Man, I've got so many. I really like Octave. I think Octave is really interesting. How it's plugging into Clay and how it seems to be its own, uh, I don't know, kind of piece that helps with structuring your outbounds.
Yeah, I love that. I've heard of Octave and I've been
Yep.
diving in and dabbling with it. One that came up recently in a good use case for me over at WaveRes was we started looking at
Okay.
Bolt.new. So Bolt.new is essentially an AI product that can build MVPs. And this is a really cool use case. And this is what excites me because a lot of people obviously talk about, and we didn't talk about this much, but a lot of people talk about, hey, is AI going to steal people's jobs? Personally, quick hot take, I don't think so. I think AI is just going to like create a bunch of new jobs for a bunch of different companies. Like there's going to be more smaller companies working more vertical niche markets. But I digress. So Bolt.new, we used it to create a prototype for a feature within our platform. And then we gave the prototype to our head engineer. And perfect use case of it doesn't necessarily take the job of the engineer. The engineer was actually really excited about getting this prototype because usually when you're building a new product, you're like in Figma or something and it's just all design. It's like
Yeah.
Canva. Like you're just
Okay.
designing how it looks. And then you give that to an engineer and then the engineer builds it. So what's cool about Bolt.new is that we were, instead of just giving a Figma of like concepts, we actually gave the engineer a product. Like it had buttons, it did
Sure.
functions. And then the engineer was like, oh, this is amazing. Now I can just build on top of this. So I'm really excited about things like that. As you know, one of the most intimate relationships in sales is with product. There's always a need and a
Yeah.
demand for more out of a platform, and anything that AI can do to get quicker results with product updates and bring the whole entire platform into the current state of demand is really exciting. And so obviously with Bolt.new and AI, a lot of that is
Well,
going to
I think
happen
that
a lot
it's
quicker.
what you bring up, which I know we both have looked at a lot. There's a ton of these systems, and all of them do each individual little thing. And I think that I mean, maybe it's something that we bring up later on as like a new thing that we've found each week. Is I think that part of the challenge is going to be knowing which product to use. I thought of it like a painter with paint, or you got to know. I don't think that there's going to be one size fits all. I think this is what's going to be cool is that there's a lot of creativity that's going to go into this. I guess actually you could even think of it like golfing, right? Like, hey, for this one, I'm going to need my 9-iron. Or if this, like, I think that that's how this is going to run versus this race to the one size fits all solution and everything.
Correct. I love that analogy. And to build on it, it's like, yeah, in golf currently you have your 9-iron, you have your wedges, you have your driver, you can have 14
Yeah.
clubs in the bag, right? I think AI is going to create a product for every yard, right? So if 9-iron
Yeah.
is your 130 club, you're going to have a club for 131. You're going to have a club for 132. You're going to have a club for 133 distance. Like that's what AI is going to do. And that's what I mean by there's just going to be more smaller companies, and that's going to be the result of AI. And I got to give another shout out back to Paid is going to be one of the platforms that helps monetize all these companies.
Yeah.
So
All of
it's
it. Like,
exciting stuff. Honestly, we could probably do a
maybe
whole
that's the next one.
episode just talking AI. Let's real quick shout out actually, right? Like quick thing like, hey, drop us a DM
Oh, yeah.
of an AI product that you like, or tell us something that you're excited about with AI, or tell us if you hate AI. We want to hear it. So, just tell us what you think. Tell us what you're excited about, what you're thinking about. Let's have that conversation. Because we need that. We're in the beginning of this amazing new
Yeah.
era of tools.
Let's kick in speed round. All
All right, let's have
right.
some fun. Let's go.
Who would win in a startup death match? Notion or Chat GPT?
Notion AI is the overachieving intern who like highlights and
Yeah.
color codes everything, while Chat GPT is just the chaotic genius. I love the chaotic genius. I'm all in on
All
Chat
right.
GPT.
I probably would have got exactly the same. All right. Now, fire hot take. Worst sales advice that people still follow.
Spray
It's,
and pray. It's over. I'm sorry. That might be a hot take, but it's over. It's all about quality now. Spray and pray is over. I'm
gonna
saying
throw
it.
mine in real quick. It's the position yourself as the high authority in each thing. Like don't talk this way because it makes you look this way. Or I think we need to just get to a point where you're just people trying to figure stuff out. Like I think that needs to go away. All right, next one,
100%.
tool tip. One AI tool that actually saved you time this week.
Well, I got to go back to Bolt.new. I know I already
Yeah.
talked about it a little bit, but that was a huge one, building an MVP for our engineering team.
I would say actually a blend of ChatGPT and Kriya. I made one of those little I don't know if you've seen that they get those like action figure dolls that everybody's doing. And I used both of those to create the whole piece. So it was a blend, ChatGPT or Sora technically for the images, and then Kriya to animate it. Next one is the most overhyped LinkedIn thought leader move.
Yeah, just stop the stop the comparisons to something that happened on your day-to-day life. Like, you know what, I can't do it anymore. You know what my 20-minute midday walk taught me about sales? I just please don't do it. Don't do it. Just stop.
I guess I'm deleting my my post for tomorrow.
Oh no! Did you have one lined up? Just
No,
like, I'm
yeah.
sorry. Hey, I may not be everybody. Maybe some people are into that, but this
I
guy
got the,
not into
I got to redo my
that.
whole calendar for the week. All right, and then the last one is underrated SaaS product that's quietly crushing it right now. I mean, I don't think it's underrated. I think Apollo, like realistically, I think it's not even close to underrated, but I think that it's a pretty heavy kind of Swiss Army knife type tool. And each time I go and look at different stuff in it, I'm like, oh, I didn't know I could do this, or oh, I didn't know I could do this. So that would be my pick.
Yeah, 100%. You kind of stole mine from me, but this isn't an underrated company either, but they're definitely on the rise. I got to give my shout out to Hubspot. I feel like HubSpot is taking over the market in CRMs, and Salesforce was always like the go-to leader. And I feel like HubSpot recently has really, they've blown me away. I'm not a client yet. Phil, if you're listening to this, maybe one day soon enough, but I know I will be. And HubSpot just launched a integration with OpenAI too. So really forward-thinking integration there. So got to give a shout out.
That's pretty much our amazing revamped, ridiculously professional. Like Zach said, if you got any sort of ideas or if you have any new products that you've been checking out, send us a DM, let us know, because we always. I said this in one of my posts. We talked about before about being sold. If you're a tech salesperson and you want to either like refine your pitch or you just want, you're looking for somebody to talk to about stuff, shoot us messages because we would love to be sold. Like let us know. But even if you're not in the sales side of things and you have some ideas, send them over to us.
Bonus hack, send us using your AI tools so we can examine not only you but how your
That's
AI
an amazing
works.
idea. We can.
Oh, we should have people we should get people to send in different pitches, like quick like elevator pitches via email, and then we decide, we have to guess whether it was AI written or generated with human fingertips. That'd be
there it is. If you heard that, basically you got a good pitch. You think we have to figure out, is it AI or is it human? Let us know which one it is, and then send us a message.
It's been a pleasure. See you next time.